going on, ladies and gents in Cyberland? Coming back to with another film review. This time we're picking up from the last Die Hard. Die Hard 2. Now, the thing is about Die Hard 2 is sometimes I remember I would see things that would say Die Hard 2 Die Harder, and then other times it'd just be Die Hard 2. So it's like whichever one you want to take with it. So this film picks up 2 years after the first one. John McClane is kind of like, he's more well known because of what happened in L.A. And it's another Christmas season, and he's trying to catch a flight with his wife. He's waiting for his wife to come in, and they're gonna enjoy their Christmas and stuff. I think she was on a meeting or something, but anyway, the planes pretty much get taken over by an elite group of mercenaries that are really trying to rescue a political prisoner, and in the process they're using the planes as a diversion. Really, that's what it's about. And John just happens to be there and gets kind of intertwined with the situation because his wife happens to be on one of the planes, and if the mercenaries don't have their demands met, they'll start crashing the planes, which at one point they actually do. They make an example, which was, just with everything that's going on in this country and things I've seen, it's just, even though this film came out in the early 90s, it's kind of still disturbing to see, because there have been plane crashes in different parts of the world. So, that's pretty much it. The film was cool. It wasn't as good as the first one, and my reasoning for it, I felt my problem with Die Hard 2, as I've watched it over the years, is it wasn't the story, it was just the villains to me had too much control. Whereas the first film, there was a balance between, it could go either way. John was by himself, but he was able to kind of maneuver to stop the criminals, and the criminals still had an opportunity because there was more of them than there was of him. So there was still some type of a balance. It wasn't fully in one person's favor. The problem with the second film is every time they would try to do something, John McClane and the guys he was working with, it would never come through. And these guys, the villains just kind of were like, they talked a lot of shit and they just had everything stacked in their favor, where it was never a situation where their plans would get thwarted. It was just a situation where he would just lose men, but it was like they were still able to accomplish what they wanted to. And I felt the ending, the way the film ended with regards to the villains, was a little disappointing as opposed to the first film. So it's not a bad film. I give Die Hard 2 7 out of 10 stars. The action was good. The story was good. It was just, that was my gripe with it, and it just didn't have the same effect as the first one did when it came to John McClane ending things the way he did with the villains and such. It was kind of disappointing, but it wasn't the acting. It wasn't the people that played in the roles or anything. That wasn't an issue. And then it's interesting because moving forward, we find out that it's almost like Die Hard 3 almost omits Die Hard 2 to some degree. It's not really even mentioned. It's not really mentioned moving forward. Certain elements are mentioned of 1 and 3, and of course, moving forward. But 2 is just kind of one of those films where it was there, and then it's just there. It's not a film that really gets talked about. And even when I hear people talk about the Die Hard films, they always talk about 1, and they talk about 3, and they talk about 4. But 2 just doesn't get the same appeal for a lot of people, and for whatever reason. Again, I thought it was good. I just think it was a huge step down from the first one, really because of the villains. The villains just, the attitude of them was just, it was, they just didn't feel like there was a huge balance. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.